Math 7 Pre-AP Objective Compare and Order Rational Numbers. One important thing to know for your rational numbers is that the negative side of the number line is always less than the positive side. Less, greater, less, greater. Now, within the negative side alone, the further you go to the left, out here, for example, let's say this is negative 5. We started at negative 1. We go all the way to negative 5. Negative 5 would be less than negative 1. It is further to the left. It is less than whatever is to the immediate right or whatever is further down to the right of this. Going this way, less. One way you can look at it is the vertical number line. Use 0 as the ground floor. This is where you begin. Going up, positive, 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 positive. Also, going up is greater, 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 greater. Now the other way, going down, is negative, 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 negative. But as you're going down, it's less. Less, 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 less. Negative 1, for example, and our other number we used earlier was negative 5. See how negative 5 should be all the way down here. Clearly, it is less than negative 1. It's way down here, negative 1's up here. Negative 5 less than negative 1. And negative 1 would be less than anything above it. An example, comparing and ordering negative 2 over 3 and negative 1. Here are two rational numbers. One way you can compare both of these, or when you have different formats, is to make them the same format. The decimal format is a good one to use. Negative 2 over 3 is negative 0.66 repeating. Negative 1, you can call it negative 1.0. Now anything between this can include numbers that go after 0.66 but are negative. So that could be 0.67, 0.68, 0.69, 0.70, and then just keep going. You can go all the way to, let's skip some, 0.80, 0.90. And make sure all of these are negative. Since these two are negative, all of these numbers should also be negative. Negative, negative, negative. They will all be in between these two rational numbers and these two. Another example, negative 0.01 versus negative 0.12. You can look at it this way. Since they both have 0 in the front and then a decimal, 0 in the front and decimal, you're just comparing the two values after the decimal. This is 01, 01. This is 12, 01, 12. They're both negative, and remember that the further you go to negative, the further you go to the left on the number line. Here, negative, negative, further left. This will be less than anything to the right of it, to the right, all the way over to here, here, etc. This one will be less than anything to the right of it. That means if we were to put these two values, negative 0.1 and negative 1.2, on the number line, they would look like this. So we can just call this negative 1 instead of negative 0.1. And then negative 12 would be down here. Negative 12 is further down to the left. It is less than negative 1. That means when I write the symbol less than, this point has to reach negative 12. Negative 1 greater than negative 12. Negative 0.01 greater than negative 0.12. Example 3. 4 negative fractions in order from least to greatest. 5 over 6 as a decimal is 0.83 repeating. But it's negative, so I need to make this negative 0.83 repeating. Negative 3 over 4, negative 0.75. Negative 1 over 2, negative 0.5. Negative 2 over 5, negative 0.4. The way you find these decimals is just take the fraction. Let's do 2 over 5, for example. And do top in, 2 goes in, 5 goes out. See, this was 2 over 5, now it is 2 divided by 5. That will be 0.4. 4 times 520, no remainder. 0.4 is the decimal from 2 over 5. Now it's negative here, I need to make this one negative. Now even though this looks like it's a greater value than 0.83, greater value than 0.75, 8 and 7, because it's negative, it's further to the left of the number line. That means this is the least. It's furthest to the left, it's the least. This is going right, greater than this one, going right again, greater than this one, and going right, greater than this one. See how from here, the beginning, negative 0.83, and all the way to the end, negative 0.4, I'm getting closer to 0. Say 0 is here. This is the negative side of the number line, going further to the left. These values will be less than the one to the right of it, and beyond this way. This less than this, this less than this, this less than this. And then we get to 0. And this will be the positive side. Example 4. Compare these two numbers, 106.3, 106.04. Now look at the details very closely. 106. So far, 106, these parts are the same. Then the decimal, then the decimal. What comes after the decimal will tell you the difference between these two numbers. After the decimal, this is 0.3. After the decimal, this is 0.04. Now, one number after the decimal, two numbers after the decimal. What you can do to balance it out to make it easier to compare is go ahead and make this 0.30. And this one stay the same, 0.04. Now you're comparing 30 and 04. 30 and 4. It's clear once we reach this point right here that 30 is greater than 4. That means when we go all the way back to the beginning, 106.3 is greater than 106.04. Another example similar to this, these two numbers, 299.043 and 299.33. So far, the beginning is the same, 299, 299. Look at what comes after the decimal, 0.043 versus 0.33. Now let's try to balance these out to make them very similar so we can compare them. We can call this 043, we can call this 33, and then let's add a 0 at the end. 330. Okay, this is okay because there's nothing here, but if I want to fill the space, I can just add a 0, no problem. 330 versus 43. 43, 330. Now, between these two, it's clear that 43 is less than 330. That means when we go back to the beginning, 299.043 is less than 299.33.